Friends, today we are going to be designing an outfit to use alongside the rose cinder background from the currently in the shop, the Rosy silhouette pack, which also comes with a dynamic pose called Floral Elegy, as well as a standard pose called Date with Wind, in addition to the text box, music, and trend color charts, ally EXP keys. So let's get into that styling, and then afterwards we'll take a look at the background and see just how it looks from all different angles. But I'm going to speed this next part up, so I'll have a little voiceover describing the outfit, but I will see you after that is finished. Alright, hello. Voiceover. Me. So to get started with this, I wanted to go with something kind of casual because I think this background is very intricate and I didn't want to have something big and flashy and something that would maybe take away from the background itself. So I decided to use the decom dress for the current light chase, the incense feather, and the moth set. And going through here, looking at dyes. I did follow a color scheme similar to the background itself with the grays and the reds of the roses. And something I found interesting about this dress is that those sleeves on the sides go away sometimes, which is something that happens with life makeover dresses, is that like some work as you would expect and then some do not. They're inconsistent, it's not great, but when you find something that works, it does feel pretty good. But then these sleeves, interestingly, they do not get rid of the dress's sleeves, but that's okay. They kind of work with it. So I decided to go with those. And looking at the hair now. I wanted something that covered up that weird strap on the right side of the dress. And the hair from the incense feather set is so pretty. I love how it just flares out at the bottom there. Decided to go with lighter tips. And then looking here at a posture for the outfit. Something that worked with the sleeves, of course, because those have a high chance to clip. For the socks, went with something simple, a 3-star from the story set. I love using 3-star socks because we get so many basic color charts and veins. The cost to actually X-palette those items is very low, which is great because you don't always need super impressive socks. I like to do the makeup before accessories, so going in here, chose some gray contacts and a smoky eye look. Went with a glossy lip for the eyelashes. Picked a red look. I'm really happy with the way that makeup came out. I'm a big fan. Wanted to go with a hat for this outfit. Decided on one of the 5-star hats we've gotten somewhat recently. I don't know how recent this is actually. But it had some nice flowers on the top that I thought would go well with the rest of the background and the outfit. Now this, the trouble with having an exclusive posture set is that it'll play the it'll play the dynamic pose while you're in the wardrobe. So trying to move this hat and shift it around a little was a little tricky because my doll kept moving. But eventually got it so that the hair isn't clipping. Made it a little smaller. Now with a dress like this and hair that covers the ears pretty well, there's not much you can do for like a necklace. I didn't want to do anything super over the top. And I did, after finishing with these accessories, I did go ahead and do nails, but I didn't record it because when I backed out of the nails, I realized I didn't save my outfit ahead of time, so I had to go back and redo the outfit from like the dress on, which is fine because dyes and everything save separate from the outfit, but still just alright. Well, outfit finished. See you in the background. And we're back. Outfit finished. Let's take a look at this background and the poses as well. So let's go to studio mode, get a real good look at everything in here. Bring wide cam real far out. Wow. Oh my gosh. Handprints on the windows. Gulp. Obviously, if like you turn around, there's nothing back here, but looks like we have this general room to work with. And let me speed it up a little bit here. And it looks like in the back there's this sort of altar with candles. And let's look and move the doll around, see how the lighting is. If you move all the way back here. The interesting part is that this is obviously meant to be a mirror, but it's not a mirror texture. It's like a low res picture of, I mean, what the room sort of looks like, right, with the candles and the roses, but it's obviously not actually a mirror, and it is definitely low res, so the closer, or like the more visible that is, probably the more noticeable it is. We have this light coming in from the window. It's kind of got this dustiness to it. And of course these petals falling everywhere. And then we have this window on the side. I wonder, let's see if you can get over there. How easily you can. You can, for sure. The lighting suffers a little if your character is facing that way. You can go outside of the window a bit. It's a little tricky to maneuver, but you could. It also looks a little wacky from the outside. It's not as well rendered as it is on the other side. So it's probably not the best for taking a shot where you're looking in through the window. More of a looking out the window kind of deal. You can also go through the window, but again, the lighting over here is fine, but it wouldn't work really if you wanted to do a duo shot with, you know, a character inside, a character outside, just because of the lack of rendering on the exterior of the window. Let's get back in here. So as far as the darker side of the room is, looks like ooh, okay. So over here near this candle, you do get more of that warm candlelight. I didn't notice it as much towards the other candles, but maybe No, not really. But this one definitely has a light source to it. You get that warmth. A little bright, but also my wide cam is all the way up, so it's a it looks a little funny. That's cool though. So you could definitely use this wall here. It's almost like a dark background that is not the regular black background, the login one we had. So it's nice that the lighting doesn't suffer as you move away from like the focal point of the scene. You can also leave entirely, it looks like. I wish we had a way like double clicking the angle would change that. Yeah, so you can kind of clip out of bounds here, but I mean, there is light out here. So if you wanted to get a true dark background, you might be able to mess around with this and the light back here. Oh, and there's almost there's like a tile floor here as well, so you have that reflection. It is a little difficult to move the camera around in here, so you don't have too much flexibility when it comes to camera angles, but you can definitely still use this section. That's nice. Typically, or well, previously, I feel like a lot of backgrounds will, you know, you can get into areas like that, but the lighting isn't good enough to really use it. But in this one, you definitely can. Let's move forward here. No glaringly bright spots. So you could use, you can move your character all the way forward here, and then if you lower the depth of field, that low-res mirror definitely just fades into the background. You don't have to worry about it. You can also get the window here at a nice angle. And if you turn, you do get some harsh shadows, but nothing too bad. This background also has to it this kind of glow that we've seen in a few backgrounds previously, where these darker colors pop a little bit more because they have this, I'm not sure exactly the right word, but there's this bounce to them where you can really see each of these ruffles and creases in the fabric that can be lost in other backgrounds because of how dark the color is. You can try to move around like this, but again, as it looks like there's a lot of light coming from the front of this background, so the further front you go and then turning around, further forward you move, and the more you turn around, the more it's gonna disappear on you. But besides that, let's take a look at the new poses included with this pack. We have the, maybe it's not, oh there it is, Floral Elegy. That was really cool. I think the hair clipping is a fault of this hair specifically. It seems to be a little floaty and susceptible to clipping. We can try another hair, but let's do that quick. Just throw something else on here. That'll be fine. Yeah, not nearly as bad. And then the standard pose is Date with Wind, which looks like, oh, no longer under latest. It is a half-length pose, technically. Sort of eyes closed by default. I think the dynamic pose is the highlight of these two. That one's really good. I wonder if it works well with other backgrounds as well. Sometimes when you have things that, you know, zoom out a lot and go at specific angles that work really well for the background that, you know, they're bundled with, it doesn't work as well, nearly as well, in other scenes. So let's just look here. Little like our latest. Like this background here. Bad. It's probably going to work well with other backgrounds because it just sort of zooms out and in, and then it takes that one angle, but it doesn't ever swoop around or really look at the scene at an angle that you wouldn't typically see. It's pretty head on to the doll itself. I think that'll do it for the contents of this pack. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you'll be doing more like this in the future with maybe rerunning packs as well. I have a lot of packs. I have most of the ones that have released in the last year. So I can go back through and do looks at those retroactively or just the upcoming ones. We'll see, but hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to add in here at the end, if you have a specific pack you have questions on, please leave me a comment. Let me know. I am more than happy to take a look at any shop background, decom background. Just let me know. All right. Bye.